about a year and a half back or a year back, if I was going to write a book, I would have said platform. It just wasn't in my mind at all. But I think ever since I sort of moved out of media and entertainment, and I think I'm a doer and not just a dreamer in that sense, and I think it's a mixture of both. I kind of looked at the entrepreneurial ecosystem in this country, and I see the change here, and I just felt that I needed to share my last 20 years of learning, experiences, lots of failures, few successes.
Thank you so much, sir, for championing the cause of entrepreneurship in this country, and it's really an honor and a privilege to launch the cover of your book, which releases on 2nd April 2015. Let's read some quotes of some people who've read the book and who have actually interacted with you. The first one is from Nandan Nilekani.
Yes.
He's the co-founder of Infosys and former chairman, Unique Identification Authority of India. He says, "There is no one better than Ronnie Screwvala to write on entrepreneurship. This book, based on intense personal experience and packed with anecdotes, is a great primer for those wanting to take the plunge, innovate, or take their firms to scale. This is just the book we need for inspiring a startup nation." There's a quote by Bob Iger, chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company. "A true entrepreneur, Ronnie Screwvala took a startup to a global scale by partnering with the Walt Disney Company. He has the qualities, I believe, necessary for great leadership, embodying the spirit of curiosity and optimism, taking smart chances and pursuing excellence always." The last one by Anand Mahindra, chairman of Mahindra Group. "Good entrepreneurs experience personal success. Great entrepreneurs multiply the success and help others rise along with them. Ronnie is a great entrepreneur, and I completely agree with that."
Thank you. They've all been very kind, and thank you.
Ronnie, sir, I have a few questions, if you don't mind, and the media doesn't mind, I would like to ask. First being that you don't come from a business family. Did you always dream of being an entrepreneur? Is it something one is born with? Is it the opportunities that came your way? What's the journey been so far?
You know, I grew up for the first 17 years in Grant Road, and I think the first chapter in my book is from Grant Road to Beach Candy. And I think those were the formative years of my life. It also teaches you some sort of very strong values. But I think one of my first failures, first real failures, was I was in cathedral school. I sort of graduated in flying colors, and I was overconfident. I went into college, and the second year I failed. And at that stage, it could have been a disaster, because here I was. I thought I let my family down. And those 6 months to 1 year, when all your friends move on in life and you have failed, and you're regrouping and trying to do what you're supposed to have done all your life because everyone told you were a brilliant student, gave me the time to introspect on what I wanted to do in life. And I think that was, I would say, the first time when I felt entrepreneurship and doing something on my own was what I wanted to do. And those were not early, but those are not easy days. Nobody was funding anybody. There wasn't an entrepreneurial ecosystem. So I think it was a tough time at that stage. It was also a time when my dad was absolutely determined that I should do my chartered accountancy. So that's how it started. But I think it was around that time when one decided I want to do something my own. And other than the 2 years where I kind of handed over and did the Walt Disney Company and UTV combined, I think that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years. I think about 9 months from the time I sort of decided that.
So basically like making a baby.
Yeah, all on my own kind of thing, but yeah. 9 months would be.
How did you go about it? You had to meet people?
Well, I think I have to say that I felt I needed a co-writer. I'm not an author by nature. I don't think I'm going to be an author in life. So I got a co-writer, and I got someone actually from the US, because I think part of my media experience teaches me that they give you a phenomenal structure to everything that you want to think in. And I think he set me up well to give me a structure for the book and a sort of ease and flow of language. And then it was more up and down. We spent Friday evening, Saturday evenings on the phone long distance. I got him to come in here and share 4 or 5 days with me everything that I had to sort of cathartically talk about, and then go back and meet almost 50 to 100 entrepreneurs here. And then it was pretty much every Saturday and Sunday for a fair period of time.
But feel failure, of course, I think feeling failure is very important. You said, but feel failure. Fear of failure, of course. I don't fear failure. I'm attached to success and failure, so I will myself. Because, again, back if your will fails, if you're already working on a project, so that cannot come on your own. You have to still But yes, you fear failure in so many things, in your relationships, with your parents, with your spouses, with your friends, your day-to-day failures of achieving something that you set out to. So I think it's very important to fear failure, because if you do that, then I think you're more conscious. I think to work harder, the intention to become better in life is very important. Writing a book, I think I was just having a conversation with someone to write my experiences. I don't think I have experience life enough right now, to write a book on it. But I do have a long life, I hope so. So maybe, once I achieve even like 50% of what Ronnie has achieved, maybe then I can think of writing.
I think Ranbir's book will be called Stay Humble, Stay Smart.
No.
अच्छा रणबीर, वन क्वेश्चन, खुली आंखों से सपना देखने पर आप कितना यकीन रखते हैं?
हाँ जी,
खुली आंखों से सपना देखने पर आप?
आई थिंक बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. अगर आप सपने नहीं देखेंगे तो वो साकार कैसे होंगे? How will you achieve if you don't dream? आंखें खुली हो या बंद हो, that doesn't matter, as long as you dream. I think that's the beginning of something extremely extraordinary that you can achieve in life. To be honest, I wouldn't have a fair answer to that, because I don't come from the world of entrepreneurship. But I think more than the government, as far as I know, I think Mr. Ronnie Screwvala is definitely doing something, through his book, through mentoring people. And I think that's what we really need is, to give them a little bit of, a hand, to give them a little bit of an advice, to give them a little bit of, show them the light, show them the way. I think that's what's important. I don't think there's anything wrong in starting a business or working for someone, as long as the intention is right, as long as, you have a dream, as long as you have a certain vision of life for yourself. Yeah, you want to add something to that?
I do want to add, if you take one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world, which I think is America, outside of Israel, which I think is a very, very entrepreneurial country, but it's so small that everyone doesn't think so. No government went out there and did anything to help. Because actually, if you look at our IT sector here, that's the best example of entrepreneurship and how it's grown, because it was not regulated. People were allowed to work for and be extremely entrepreneurial. So I think a government's job is to enable, and a government's job, and I think that's the right demand that everyone's making, is to make ease of business in the country happen, which I think we're moving in that direction. And the problem is that if you go from 400 regulations to 100 regulations, it still looks like 99 more than what you like it to be. So till they get to 1 and 2 and 3 regulations, you'll always feel there's going to be not the ease of doing business. But I believe the government's is to facilitate and mandate, not create entrepreneurs.
Sorry, I just had a follow-up question. Ranbir, any young entrepreneurs that you admire that you could...
I think Ronnie is really young. He's someone who I've always admired. Apart from him, I have a couple of friends. I don't think you would know them. There's a gentleman called Ishan. He's somebody who I really admire. But I think, to be honest, not because I'm sitting on this diet, releasing a couple of his books, but he's really a man who I've admired, not just for his entrepreneurial geniusness, but also for the kind of human being he is, also for the kind of energy that he is. I think he's really inspirational. And to a lot of people from the film industry, he's definitely one of the most liked
मैं
persons.
सोनू निगम साहब को, विक्रम घोष साहब
was
को
from the
बधाई
film
देता
industry,
हूँ
yes, somewhere.
इस
And I
बात
think the
की।
day he had,
एक तो एल्बम तो सक्सेसफुल हुआ ही, वो भी ऐसे दौर में
moved
हुआ
out
जब सब लोग
from
बोलते हैं
UTV
जी अब तो
and,
नॉन फिल्म
Walt
म्यूजिक
Disney
बनता ही
Company. I
नहीं,
think that was a sad
यहाँ
day
बनता ही
for a lot
नहीं,
of people.
यहाँ पे हिट भी
So
होता
he's
है।
definitely someone.
तो हुनर की जहाँ पर परमात्मा
gonna
ने
take
बहुत
our last
तारीफ की
two
है, वहाँ
questions.
पर कोई भी चीज़ नेगेटिव नहीं होती है। और यही साक्षात उदाहरण है विक्रम घोष और सोनू निगम साहब का। और मेरी बहुत बहुत दुआएं हैं, जो भी काम करते हैं उसी में अव्वल होते
बॉम्बे
हैं।
में रिलीज हो जाए कोई बड़ी
और
बात
उन्होंने
नहीं।
फिल्म का
I
म्यूजिक
think वो
किया
एक
था
सपना अनुराग का
जल।
था and I think
जल
that's
भी नॉमिनेट
what
हुई
I'm
थी
looking
ऑस्कर
forward
के
to
लिए।
15th
आप सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई है मेरे देशवासियों,
Ronnie,
हमारे देश के
Somebody's got a
नौनिहाल
mic. Yeah,
Ranbir,
Ronnie.
और जो
Ronnie.
हमारे
Someone just randomly saying Ronnie.
12 से
Ranbir,
जिनके
yeah,
साथ
Ranbir,
चलती है।
One second,
ऐसा
the
फिल्म
lady's
में
got a mic,
जो
so
भी
ask
काम
the question,
करते
and then
हैं,
I think there was
अच्छा
somebody
काम
else who was
करते
going
हैं, उसमें
Yeah.
आपकी दुआएं जुड़ जाती हैं,
You have
उसके
become
बाद
a producer,
बल्ले
you're
बल्ले
a
हो
great
जाती है,
actor,
पूरी
your
दुनिया
career is
उसके
growing well.
गुणगान
So
गाती है।
when do we see you getting married?
Wow, कहाँ से कहाँ producer से ये
I thought you were going to ask us when you're becoming a full-fledged entrepreneur.
Yes, I would like to answer the first part of the question first. Being a producer was not something I had planned. Anurag Basu, me, had made a film called Barfi, and we really enjoyed working together. So we decided, to work on a film together, which was Jaga Jasoos. And also, I must add that even though the Ronnie sir is not with, the Walt Disney Company, but I made sure that, there are there is something of him in, where we're doing our first venture together. I think that was important to us. We're not producing, we're not here just for the business aspect of movie making. We are producing it because we believe in this. We don't know if this film is going to do well or not, but I think the intentions towards making a film was correct. I think those were the reasons that we produced a film. Second part of your question is, when will I get married? I haven't decided. I think marriage is something that's important.